guys, I'm Cindy with your text-based adventures, and I do social media on the podcast. I do set design on the podcast. Anything behind the scenes you see that the guys have, it's usually me with the help of Jack, just Jack sometimes. So we're going to be doing a text-based adventure book. Because I love books. I recently acquired a library. My friends, for my 30th birthday, decided that we would achieve the goal of having 1,000 books because, fun fact, that is how you own a library. Don't have to file any special paperwork. You just have to somehow cram 1,000 books into your house. And in my house, we do it in one room. So, yeah, we have about 5 bookshelves currently. Six bookshelves? 6 bookshelves. But one of my favorite series, which I have brought today to talk to you about, is Harry Potter. Awkward. Fun fact about me, I did not read Harry Potter until college because I grew up with the movies, and I loved the movies, and I wasn't a huge reader in elementary school. Really got into reading late middle school, probably really got into it in high school because, hormones. Everybody gets angsty, and they got to escape somehow, but loved these books. Did not want to ruin my childhood memories of the movies, though, so waited to read these. But in a particular order, these are my favorite Harry Potter books. You will notice I do not have the whole series because whole series isn't my favorite. So first we have Prisoner of Azkaban. Because I love the story here. I love the Beast. I love the werewolves. I love Sirius Black. This is when we get him and the Griff. Let's be honest. I love Buckbeak. Buckbeak stole the show in this one. Love Buckbeak. So, second book we have is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This is the biggest. Now, this is not some people's favorite because, year 5 means Harry's 15. So he's a little like angsty, gothy. He's not exactly, the most happy-go-lucky guy in the world. He's very angsty, but I love it because I want to be a lawyer, and this is the book where we get like a trial and we really get like some government Ministry of Magic-esque stuff, and I enjoyed it. And we also get the secret society of the Order of the Phoenix. So I feel like this is the first book where it's not solely in the school. This is where we're kind of like delving away a little bit from it being like 95% of the kids are at school. So there's that. So this third book is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Now, I do love the story. Just kidding. Snape is not one of my favorite characters because if you've read the books, he is probably the biggest bully you will ever meet. And teachers should not be able to get away with the abuse he gets away with in the book. That's my personal opinion. It's a controversial take, and that's fine. But my husband, Gil, as you hear Tim call my buddy Gil, proposed to me with this book because it has a chapter in it called The Unbreakable Vow. So this book will always hold a special place in my heart. It may not be one of my favorite. It's one of my favorites, but it's one of my favorites for a different reason than the story. So that is the first episode of Cindy's Text-Based Adventures.
Hello and welcome to Cutscene Conversation, a show where we explore life one conversation at a time. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Tim, and today we're going to be talking about our health journey. Well, the health journeys, like what we've done.
History and improvements. And improvements.
Or lack thereof.
For one of us more so than the other, and it might be surprising.
Well, first, let's do a little bit of cleanup.
Yep. You want to go first? I normally go first with the...
Oh. Well, I only got one joke today.
Good. All right, here we go.
All right. So, why isn't the personal trainer paying rent?
I don't know. Why?
Because he's squatting.
Oh, he's squatting.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, very good. Very good. All right, random facts. Here you go.
Hold on. Are your random facts...
they are not fitness based.
They're not appropriate for the theme
no,
of the episode.
You're welcome. That's what makes them random this time, though. Yeah, you're welcome. First one. It is illegal to own just one guinea pig in Switzerland.
That sounds like a lonely law.
It's considered animal abuse because they are social beings and get lonely.
Wow.
Yeah. Remember how you used to make fun of me for not having anything follow up for these? But your boy just comes in here.
Right. So that was guinea pigs?
Guinea pigs, yeah.
What about hamsters?
Hamsterville. I don't know. I didn't get that far. You always got to have follow up that makes it look like I haven't done anything. It's fantastic. Number 2. The Night's Watch cloaks in Game of Thrones were made out of IKEA rugs.
That is hilarious.
The show bought the rugs, shaved them down, and dyed them to make them into the cloaks.
That is awesome.
That is cool, right? Right. And then the last fact, the Eiffel Tower in Paris was originally intended for Barcelona.
Why did it end up in Paris and not Barcelona?
The Spanish city thought it was too ugly, so Gustavo Eiffel pitched it to Paris instead.
Wait, pitched it to Paris. Where's it from?
Wherever Gustave Eiffel is from.
Again, with the facts one too far.
Yeah, your boy. He always likes to cut me down. He's like, oh, you want to mention the fact that you've got stuff? Just wait, I've got questions.
I've got questions. He doesn't have answers.
Yeah, sometimes that's the way it be. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get like
a paragraph,
a paragraph for each one, but it'll be like continued points. Oh, well, I don't know about that, but I do know.
Yeah. When that happens, I'm gonna be like, cool fact, and just leave it alone.
Oh my gosh, you'll know I have the notes, and then just be like, I'm not gonna do any follow-ups today.
No follow-ups,
none whatsoever.
So, how's your couple weeks been?
It's not been too bad. You know, I shaved down. I was I was feeling the need for some change. I've been rocking a beard a full beard for a while, and I was like, I'm ready for something new. Rebecca won't let me take it all the way down. I agree
with her.
Well, she says it looks like I'm 19 again, and she said that's too young for her.
So what if you take to just a goatee?
I asked her, what if I did just a mustache?
No. You can't get rid of the chin stuff. I'm going to tell you from an adult male, I will never get rid of this right here just because it hides.
Right. Well, I do have a scar underneath my chin that it hides.
Right.
And not only that, when I was shaving, I was like, I look just like my dad. I was like, that's a lot of gray.
That's a hard thing to hit.
That is. I mean, it's a good target, but it's hard when you realize it.
So over Thanksgiving, my mom made mention, like so I was outside cooking, and she drove up. She walks up, gives me a hug. Hey, how you doing? And then she goes, oh my gosh, all the gray. And I went, thanks, Ma. Appreciate it.
I mean, all that gray for you is a way different statement than all that gray on Jesse. Oh, yeah. I shaved and I looked down and I was like,
there's no black.
I see very little dark brown. Thank you. It's dark brown. I don't have black hair.
A whole lot of salt, no pepper.
A whole lot of salt, no pepper. So, yeah.
So, you shaved.
Yeah, I did.
How's work going?
Work's taking on some different avenues, I would say. Okay. I'm trying to lean away from just emailing and letting that be default. I'm trying to become more comfortable with reaching out via phone and talking with the person on that end. And it's yielding way better results than I thought.
Really?
I had to have a mentality shift. I'm technically in a sales role, but none of my customers I work with am I selling anything to.
Okay.
Right? They're using the program.
Are you a sales support role?
Yes.
Okay.
So once I got over the fact that, man, I'm not trying to sell these guys anything. I'm just trying to help them win.
Yeah.
It really allowed me to shift.
Have you
my
told
mentality.
them that? Because that's a salesman pitch right there. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm here to help you win.
Mean, it is one of Kelly's catchphrases.
Is it really?
We help the customer win.
Well, there you go.
So, I mean, realistically, though.
You're bought into that, though.
to a degree.
Okay.
In the not the catchphrase of it, but in the reality of my position.
Right.
So yeah,
That's great.
So yeah, getting used to making phone calls, and you know, it's. I knew it was real when one of the things I say, and when I'm working in a working relationship with somebody, whether that's here at church, here at the podcast, whatever, I'll use the phrase "boss." I'll be like, "I got you, boss, no problem."
Right. Yeah.
I realized I was shifting in my thought process when I was like, "All right, boss, you good? You need anything else?" I was like, "I get it now."
Right.
I get it. And it was at that moment. And then I kid you not, today on the phone, I was talking to a gentleman, and he's like, "All right, boss, I'll talk to you later." I was like, "He said it to me."
It's great.
About you, Tim? What you got going?
Work is work. I do a very boring job to most people.
We literally have an entire podcast episode from last season.
Well, we just talked about Visual Basic last season, right? Apparently, it was a little boring for some of y'all, but that's fine. No, I'm an IT risk analyst that specializes in governance, risk, and compliance for a hospital. It's kind of boring if you don't like it, right? Like it is. But
I mean, it can be boring if you do like it.
Yes. But this last week, so I have one thing I have total authority over. Total authority to shut down whatever I need to make something happen or not happen. If a vendor has not passed inspection, the risk assessment inspection, and they are trying to touch our network, I can look at that with full authority. Doesn't matter if the CEO of the hospital is saying do it, and say no. And I got to do it this week.
Oh, did you?
First time I've had to do it.
How quickly was it resolved?
Oh, there was an email requesting access. Within 30 seconds of me seeing that email, which it hit, I read it, and I went, no. I have 4 emails out to my boss, my boss's boss, the VP of technology, and the project manager. Going, stop this now. They're not allowed to touch us. And then I'm emailing server team and access management team going, do not allow this access. Shut down everything they have.
Okay. How long did it take them before they were the required inspections? Oh, they haven't even got there yet.
Nope.
Oh, man. Must not have been that important for them.
So,
which makes it seem sus in my mind even
longer
more.
Story shorter. So not, it is a longer story, but I'm going to make it shorter. We had a contract with a vendor who were using these people as a third party.
Okay.
That vendor sold that section of their company. Well, this new vendor who has had access in the past has to go under the new security rule.
That makes sense. Okay.
They have to have their paperwork in line or we're not covered.
Gotcha. Even though their previous I don't want to say employees, that's not the right word. Previous accessors.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10 it'd be normal kosher and everything's fine. But
it was a simple paperwork check. That's all it was.
Yeah, but you got to stop it because you never know what else is behind it.
Right.
Look at you doing your job and doing it well.
Loved it.
You were like, stop this right now. Hey, I did just have a thought, though. Sometimes I swivel in this chair and it squeaks, and I wonder if you can hear that.
I don't notice it.
I've never. Well, do you wiggle in your chair at all? Or do you sit pretty still?
I squeeze my legs against the inside of the table so that I don't do it.
I would wiggle the whole thing if I did
myself. That. Yeah. But you're welcome for that little trip.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So we want to talk about our fitness journey. And as y'all guys can hopefully see, there is less of me.
There is less of you.
If you pull up season 2, episode 1 to now, I'm guessing there's less of me.
No, there definitely is less of you. You don't have to guess. I could ping everyone in the room. There's less of you.
Right. Which is great. So,
yeah, because sometimes less of Tim is a good thing.
Oh my gosh! If I had a nickel for every time I heard that, I have about 3 nickels. Not saying I'd have a lot of money, but it's weird. It's happened so many times. No, in all seriousness, so I started getting serious about my weight loss in 2021.
Yes.
That's when I knew something had to change. So it was the beginnings of 2021.
Okay.
Where I was like, man, I've been this big for so long. I was at my heaviest around March, April 2022. So 2021 was a year of me trying a whole bunch of different things to try to change weight.
Intermittent fasting was part of that.
So much stuff, but I always yo-yoed, and I would spend 6 weeks on a diet, and then a month and a half, 3 months, like
Right back doing what you were doing.
wheeling in my failure, just not trusting the process, not doing the hard stuff either.
Right.
Like doing the fads, right? It was 2022 where I had somebody, Jack. Y'all know Jack. He's been on the podcast multiple times. He was like, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to get serious about it. And then his wife, Jess, and my wife, Jen, they all were like, let's do 75 hard.
Yeah.
Which is a wonderful program. We were also, Cindy was doing it. She's been on here. Y'all know Cindy, Book Corner and all that.
I like how you point where she normally
she
sits.
usually sits here. She started it 2 weeks, 3 weeks before we did, because I refused to start it before going on the cruise. We had a cruise in March. We had a cruise in March.
Valid.
We had a cruise in March, and I was like, I'm not starting this before the cruise.
No, because what's the main thing you do on a cruise? You eat. You eat.
Yes. I think I'm getting my timeline right. I can't remember. We were
Sounds about right.
Did we start it in March? Or we ended in March?
I remember go back season 2 because I remember talking about it in season 2, talking about it. So
anyway,
it's there.
So we did 75 hard, and then Jennifer, she was like, "Hey, let's go do the St. Jude 5K. It's in December every year. We talked about it last year.
Yeah, we did. Yep.
So first of all, my heaviest I was ever was north of 450 pounds. I know it was because I got to 450 and I stopped stepping on the scale. So my highest recorded weight was 450, and I know I was up there above it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was 450 pounds in 2022, and I think about June-ish. I think. I don't remember. Anyway, 5K in December of 2022. I did it in 53 minutes and 44 seconds.
Yep.
I then spent 2 weeks recovering because my feet were bloody and blistered and just tore up.
Dude, when you were walking around the next day, I remember watching you you hobbled.
Yes.
For 2 to 3 weeks. It was like
it was hard to walk. I walked to the car with blood in my shoes.
The difference, the way I would now talk about it is you literally damaged your feet.
Oh yeah.
It's not like I'm hurt because I walked too far or you.
I wasn't
remember
sore. I was hurt.
Damaged.
Yeah.
You were damaged.
Yep. Well, this is 3 days. Is it 3 days post the 5K of 2023?
Yeah.
And so I gotta get a little story down first. I gotta not get emotional because Jack poured into me, wouldn't let me quit, made me get up and go to the gym, made sure that I was ready. Like, we spent days together. We were at the gym at 5:30. He was coming over to the house. We were walking the road, making sure.
I seen y'all one morning.
Yeah,
I could testify.
You yelled at us one morning.
I had to take the dog in late, and I rolled down the window, and I was like, "What up, handsomes?" You knew who it was.
Jack didn't.
Jack didn't know
he
who
was
I
gonna
was.
throw something
you
at
would
the
think
car.
he's heard my voice enough by now to know who I am, but
yeah, it's part of his nightmares.
oh,
So anyway, Jack, he just poured so much into me and made sure that I was going to do it. Even through the race, he didn't get more than like 10 to 20 yards ahead of me at a time.
Yeah.
And he would always wait and make sure, like, he'd hit a checkpoint in his head and he'd turn and find me and he'd clock me in his head and he made sure I was doing something.
Yeah.
And then, like, we didn't really talk.
Did y'all grunt?
We developed a untalked about hand motion.
Oh,
Yeah. and where
So-
we would like
Like
literally
full-on
like
signs,
turn the
or-
corner and we're gonna run. Like,
So you were like,
yeah, that's exactly what it was.
so there were no like letters or nothing you were creating. You weren't like Walmart, nothing like.
No.
Okay, just checking.
But part of the way, Jack inspired not only myself, because it wasn't just me running this. It was myself, Jack, and Jess did the 5K.
Mm-hmm.
My wife did the 10K.
Wow.
I don't know. This was months ago. It was hot, so it had to be July, August.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack started everyone with 5K Friday.
Yep.
We did a 5K every Friday. And we had a group chat going. And you took a picture of the treadmill. And you're like, here's my 5K Friday. And that was like, if you didn't do it, you got hounded.
Yeah.
Like, you were like, nah, man, you got to get it in. And so, like, you had to do 5K Friday. Like, it just was part of it. It got to the point where, so the last couple months, Fridays were hard for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we were doing a 5K every Monday and Wednesday.
So you had grown from not just doing once a week, but you were up to twice a week
We
already.
were doing 2 miles every Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
And we were doing 3 miles every Monday and Wednesday.
Oh, goodness.
So we were doing 10 miles a week minimum.
That is a huge difference in just a year.
Oh, yeah.
So you went from damaging
Oh, yeah.
in one event to doing that multiple times a week.
I finished my goal.
Mm-hmm.
My goal was 45 minutes.
Yep.
I wanted a 15-minute mile timer.
Yeah.
I finished the 5K. Jack and I both, because Jack refused to leave me in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
We finished at 44 minutes and 50 seconds.
Let's go.
So we're getting clapping from the side. That's great. Thank you. I'm doing my best not to cry. Right. So before we did the 5K, we went up the Thursday night before. And we went to go pick up our packets and our numbers and everything. And I had heard that the Navy was doing a 1 nautical mile, 5 nautical mile, 10 nautical mile in June.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, let's go do a 1 nautical mile. Let's do 1 mile. 1 mile it's like 1.15 or 1.2, something like that.
Slightly more.
Yeah. And I was like, we can go do a 1.2 mile. Like, it's nothing, right? Like, we're going to do our best. So we went to go sign up. We find out that the 1 mile is only for children.
I'm sorry.
So I'm looking at my wife, Jack, and Jack's wife, Jessie, and going, well, I brought us over to this table in front of these people with the full expectation of us signing up for something. And I said, screw it. All right, let's do the 5 mile. And so
You signed up for the 5 mile?
all 4 of us signed
Wait,
up for
what were the
the
options again? 1,
5 or 10.
1, 5, or 10? Oh, man.
So
So what is that? 5 miles?
5.75.
That's
5.76
a 10K.
miles.
Is that a
6.2 is 10K. So we're going to be training for a 10K.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. You do this 10K, you do this event.
Yeah.
Are you going to sign up for the 10K next year?
So no. And I had a discussion about this with my wife. I'm going to stay with the St. Jude 5K to keep a record of improvement there. I'm going to keep doing the 5K, keep doing the 5K, keep doing the 5K.
I think you do the 5K one more time next year. And then after that, you do the 10K.
You say that until you see that they group you in men's finishers by age.
Mm-hmm.
And I see someone in my age group finish at 20 minutes.
Oh.
And I went,
That's getting it. But
I went, hold on now.
okay, but how much of it do you feel like you ran versus you walked?
This year?
Yeah.
I'm going to say I did 40-60. 40
run?
40 jog, 60 walk. It might be closer to 30-70.
Okay.
Well, no, because I definitely jog more than a mile. And it's 3 miles.
Yeah.
So I definitely jog for more than a mile. So, yeah,
Nice.
it's over that.
So I think your goal is to
no.
jog the whole thing.
So here's the thing, right? So we did 5K 2023 or 2023 at 44:50.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a difference of 9 minutes. I killed 9 minutes off my time and recovery.
Right.
And my recovery.
Yeah,
Like,
you're literally
so
able to carry on.
I had muscle pains for like today was the last day I had muscle pains.
Yeah.
Like they're still a little sore, but I'm good.
Right.
It's nowhere near the recovery. My body is not near as damaged, and I'm at least
I wouldn't
60
even use
pounds
the word
lighter.
damaged.
Right. I'm not damaged. It's
Sore,
not sore,
hurt,
yes,
but not damaged. Whereas first year it was definitely damaged.
right.
Man, that's awesome, Tim.
So
Super proud of you, man. I know it's been something
as of
that your goal was, and you accomplished it. And then here you are. You're not just sticking with the single goal.
right.
You're improving it, and you're.
So currently, I am down right at 90 pounds
Let's go.
from my recorded heaviest.
Nice.
So that puts me at, if you can do math, 360. I haven't been 360 in over 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
I am wearing blue jeans for the first time that Cindy has known me.
Yep.
No, you have never seen me wear blue jeans before now.
Within the season of life.
Yeah. So
She agreed. At first, she was like, "Wait," and then she
like not today the first time, but
yes,
like
this season.
This season in life is the first time I've wore blue jeans.
Yep.
They're blue jeans that you can buy at a regular store and not a Husky brand store.
Let's go.
Yeah, thank you, Cole. Not Husky anymore. Hashtag not Husky anymore.
Hashtag. Yeah. There you go.
But I had someone ask me the other day. They're like, "Holy crap, man! Like you're looking great. How'd you do it?" I said, "Everything hard." I was like, my diet, my exercise, my dedication to it all.
That's it. I think you hit it right then. As much as the exercise is important, the dieting was important.
Yes.
The dedication to the regiment is by far the most important thing.
I can't iterate enough how much having the support system that I have just made me able to do it, because for so long I did it alone, and I felt the struggle of doing it alone. Like no one cares. Like I love my wife, but she would placate me with, "You're not that big, and it's not that bad."
Yeah,
out of a loving spirit,
right?
And it's not what I needed.
You were getting all love and no
needed
truth.
Someone to look at me at Thanksgiving and yell at my wife, "Tim's eating again," which happened.
It did happen.
It was funny. But I need that. I've needed that for years of unhealthy habits, unhealthy eating, and getting to the point where now I'm looking to 2025. So let's go 2 years out from, so a year out from airing. But I have a goal weight of being 110 pounds lighter then. So I want to be 250 by April 2025. Which is
on track.
Which is on track. Actually, it's easier than the way I've lost weight so far. But the lighter I get, the harder it gets.
Yes, but with more time and more diligence at it, it becomes less difficult. The most difficult thing about doing something like you're doing, I think it's twofold. One, it's starting.
Yeah.
It's learning to start. I forget where I heard it, but they said the most difficult thing about doing something is teaching yourself to start. So that means not just starting the journey of the road of weight loss and strengthening and fitness and health. It's about starting each morning when you get up, starting that day.
Oh, yeah. No, it's looking in my fridge today and going, I got frozen chicken breast that I can thaw and cook, or I can eat freaking macaroni and cheese.
Right.
And today going, okay, let's thaw out the chicken breast. Let's cook the chicken breast.
Start the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Start the day.
And I'm going to tell you the hardest part of this all is knowing that failure is always right beside me.
Oh, yeah.
Like failure
never leaves.
It is trying to get me. It is everything is trying to beat me down and not let me do it, because I am getting so much joy out of life and joy that I didn't realize I could have. Like being able to complete the 5K in under 45 minutes, like the amount of joy I had there. Like last year, the joy I got for finishing a 5K, just doing the 5K was amazing to me. You
know, you may not realize this, but you are so much more relaxed now.
No, I didn't.
You don't seem as stressed and tense. You fit into situations easier.
Sorry.
You're welcome.
Fit easier.
You do. Well, you fit into situations easier now. It doesn't seem like as much of a struggle as it was for you once upon a time.
Right.
So I think that probably the health aspect of this for you and the weight loss, I think you're more confident in yourself without feeling the need to also defend every point of view all the time.
Right.
Right. You're more relaxed in that, and I don't know if you realize that, but you are.
It's a mental journey as much as a health journey.
It is.
Like it is.
So as far as fitness for me, the most I've done, I think it was 21. I'm pretty sure it was 21. Our friend Jeff.
Yeah.
Mr. Roby. He was doing kickboxing, fitness-based kickboxing. And I was like, man, I got to do something. I just transitioned from full-time construction to working in an assembly, environment, and I was working at a computer now 95% of my day. And I was like, man, I feel exhausted at the end of the day, but my brain's tired, but I wouldn't be able to rest. I couldn't shut down. So I was like, well, I'm just going to do something. Yeah. So I ended up just spur of the moment.
Joining the kickboxing class.
Did kickboxing for about 9 months. And, bruh, I want to talk about just exhausting. Like, you go in there, and I remember the first day. Because it was rough. Because you go into it thinking, it's just kickboxing. How hard is it to, punch a bag every now and then? But no, it's so much cardio. They start off and they're like, all right, for warm up, just start running around the outside of the bags. And you're like, all right, I'm good. I've got this. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm feeling good. I'm like 2 minutes in, I'm said, well, I'm still good.
This isn't fun.
And then they're like, all right, start lunges. And you would just do lunges around. You're like about 8 of them in. You're like, oh, this is starting to hurt. And they're like, all right, start running again. I'm like, wait a minute. When is the kickboxing going to start? You would do workouts like this for 10, 15 minutes because in reality, they were less concerned with how well you were punching the bag as they were your core fitness being in place. And yeah, I remember getting through like the first round of punching the bag and you just barely, dude, you're just doing everything you can to put your glove up and touch it. I had to go sit down and they were like, hey, don't feel bad. We got people who come out of the military who are very physical fit in very specific areas and are not core strong. And it's true.
Right. He can do pull-ups forever or he can do push-ups forever.
Yeah, but that core strength is non-existent. Yeah. So I sat down. I remember being dizzy.
Push-ups based off of core strength?
They are, but they don't consistently use that same strength over and over again, whereas everything else was using all of it at the same time.
Right.
The only break you would get was it'd be like you do a punch combo, and they'd be like, all right, now you're going to do a kick combo. You're like, oh, thank God my arms. I could just kick for a second. And then they'd be like, get the gloves up. And you'd be like,
defend yourself.
Right. So
did you do any sparring?
No, we never did any combat. No, there was never any of that. It was pure fitness with a bag. And then I don't think I would ever, due to my depth perception issues, I didn't want to have to guess how far away someone was standing in sparring anyways.
Oh, that's right.
Boxing is not my forte.
Right.
Shooting. I'm okay at it.
Yeah.
So, it's funny because I am right-handed, right? I'm definitely not good with my left hand, but I have to shoot and aim bow and arrow rifles. I have to shoot that left-handed because I'm so left-eye dominant.
Yeah, we experienced this recently.
Yes, we did.
We will do a small caveat where a group of us men after Thanksgiving, which I want to kind of start a little tradition doing this. It'd be great.
Right.
We went to the gun range.
We did.
And I handed
man,
Jesse one of my rifles. And he was like, I can't really look at the sight.
I tried everything. I was like, how am I said, and obviously, I'm not scared to ask the questions in this situation. One, I know the people with me are confident and know the answers. So why would I be stubborn and not ask? Right? That's to me is the definition of ignorance. So I'm like, how am I supposed to hold this and shoot? Well, I leaned in and I could not. I was like, I couldn't see the sight. I was like, I don't even see the dot. So it's like, okay, well, how do I hold this? Left-handed, so I had to be shown, hey, here's how you hold it, here's how you shoulder it. And as soon as I held it and looked down the scope, it's like, there it is. I could see it.
Right.
This feels right. This makes sense.
And you were calm, smooth. You You controlled the rifle the way it was supposed to be done. I think the only objection I saw from you was when Brass shot out and popped you back in the face. Like,
so you're not supposed to be on that side of that gun. You know what I'm saying?
well, no. It's a right-handed. So right-handed. The ejection port is on the right-hand side, which makes the brass kick away from the shooter typically. Except if you're shooting left-handed.
Yeah.
So
it was like, ooh, hot.
Yeah, but we're also in a box,
right?
So the round is deflecting off the box at Jesse, which was hilarious. But
I still think God bless your father-in-law, Mark.
Oh man,
dude.
Mark is awesome.
First round was shot out of one of the ARs. Blam!
Oh no, granted that was the regular AR, right? The standard AR. Yeah, and.
Dude, he was like, "Whoa!"
And he, so I had brought auto deafening, really nice ear protection, and I had offered it to him first because I was like, out of all of us, he's gonna have the more sensitive ears.
Yes.
And he was like, no, I'll use earplugs. And I offered it to the other people there, and it landed on Gil. And Gil was like, yeah, I'll use them. I was like, yeah, you will.
Right.
And so we turned on. We could have a conversation like this while everybody's shooting.
Right.
Because the way they worked is they neutralize loud sounds. They allow these kind of sounds.
Yeah.
First shot of one of the three ranges, or one of the three booths we rented, was a standard AR pistol.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's a high-powered rifle round. High-powered. It's a medium-powered rifle round out of a short barrel. It makes a lot of boom. And Mark was physically shook.
Like him. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa,
no, just
dude.
walking away. Done.
He was like, "Oh man, no." Dude, I tried to talk him into shooting that gun like 3 times. He's like, "No, son, I'm good."
I know. It was hilarious.
But you know the irony is, you get because I shot the gun too, and as loud as it was, like I was shooting a handgun beside it, and I'd be just about to scope it. I was like, all right, here we go. Squeeze, bam! And I was like, it'll be start the whole process over for what I was doing, and bam! I was like, well, I'm just gonna shoot a bunch of times down range until
I get used to it. Yeah.
And it did. It took a minute, but you know, as loud as it is beside it, when you held and shot from in range with it. Dude, it was a third of the sound.
Nothing. Yeah.
It was, and it felt good to shoot. I really anticipated way more out of it, because I had stood beside it first. I really thought, okay, man, it's gonna have some kick. It's gonna have. No. And don't get me wrong, it had some, but it felt good to hold and shoot, but it also makes sense why people go deaf if they don't use hearing protection.
Yes, it does. So I am a very large proponent of hearing protection and eye protection, especially on a gun range.
Well, I mean, it's required at 99.
Well, I mean, even if you do private range.
Okay, yeah.
Like, if we go out to the bottom somewhere and shoot, like, I'm going to have ear pro. I wear my own glasses, but I'm going to encourage others to have that. I always have a first aid kit.
Yep.
I always go over range safety rules. Like, I am overly safe.
Yeah.
When it comes to firearms.
Another thing is, if anyone ever out there asks, you're a good teacher.
Well, thank you.
You do a good job of, you could tell you're very comfortable with not just the shooting aspect, but you also understand why.
Right.
Which is what makes you a good teacher for it.
I appreciate that.
So.
Well, yeah, firearms are a vital part of your health.
We talk about physical health, but that's if you enjoy it, it's a mental health thing.
It really is. I mean, and that's kind of where it was a great post-holiday stress relief.
It was. And it was good to hang out and spend time with the group we did.
Yes. And all the men, like, I feel like we all enjoyed ourselves.
Yep.
And then we went and ate crappy food at Cookout.
As we talked about health.
Yeah, no. Like, that was my cheat
dog.
So
beast of a.
The current diet I'm on allows a cheat day a week, which I've never had before.
Mm-hmm.
But it helps curb a lot of the failure.
Yeah.
Because I'm able to go,
Give
no.
yourself-
This day
Right.
I'm doing stuff. And so this day is the day I'm eating wrong.
Well, it's like knowing you've got Saturday coming, right? Outside of it's like, oh, I've got to work. But if I just stay focused on my work and get it done,
We got the
I
weekend.
have this weekend
Yes.
coming up. It's the same principle.
It is a little carrot dangling in front of my face. Except for a carrot, it's a cupcake. Oh.
Well,
Well,
Tim,
Well, this was a great talk.
I was about to say, I've
we ended
enjoyed
up
this
some
one.
places we didn't expect.
I mean,
Like Bilbo Baggins.
yeah, it's a great journey. It's a great adventure.
It really is. I had a burp. I'm sorry.
Is that what that was?
That was a
I seen
burp.
the pause. I was like, man, this is normally when
It was-
Tim
it
would
was
be ending
caught-
the episode, but
caught
I
my
thought you were
throat.
about to get emotional again.
Dude, like seriously.
I know. I looked at you one point. I was like, he's doing everything he can
Ooh.
to hold this together right
Yeah,
now.
It was bad.
You did. I think I seen one little tear ease out, and you were like, you pulled it back in.
Like it was like no. No one makes me tear my own tears. Well, for Cutscene Conversations, I'm Tim.
And I'm Jesse.
We'll see you next time. Tim's eating again.